Well, hi, everyone. We are here in Cebu, Philippines, and wanted to stop and take a few minutes and give you an update on all the awesome things that have been going on. As you can see, my dear friend and brother, Amir Tsarfati, is here. And what a trip it's been. It's just been an amazing thing. And Amir, before we got to the Philippines, you actually had some pretty awesome opportunities in a couple of
Yes.
other countries.
Yeah. So I landed in Singapore, and 2 days before I arrived, I was told that the government there rejected my application to speak publicly. So, and it's fine. I don't want to get into why. They're very sensitive because of previous Christian leaders that said stuff on other religions. And, you know, anyway, the good thing is that out of this whole thing, a different set of meetings was born. One of them was actually a meeting of the top tier of Christian leaders in the Philippines, in Singapore. I mean, I met with government, marketplace, and church leaders in a very intimate way. 20 people around one round table, and managed to speak about the mission of Behold Israel and about the importance of the biblical way in teaching on Israel and supporting Israel, and not the unbiblical way of worshiping Israel on one hand or hating and replacing in Israel on the other. So that was a very amazing meeting that I never expected to have. I mean, I had literally the top Christian leaders of Singapore sitting around the table, leaders of churches of tens of thousands of people. And I was able.
That kind of goes into that adage, when God closes a door, he opens a window.
Correct.
But in this case, when a door closed, he opened an even bigger door.
Yeah.
Because really what happened, I think, for you is that it wasn't just you having an influence over a set number of people, but you were influencing the influencers and those who are
I don't know if
impacting
I
all levels of
influenced. I hope I
society.
influenced them, but I was definitely sitting with the most influential Christian leaders in Singapore.
Yeah.
There's just no doubt about
Yeah.
that one. And from there, I moved to Vietnam, where I needed to get a special visa to enter. It's still considered underground church where I went, and we had to stay low key. And the meeting on Saturday was in an upper room of a building that you would never know outside that it's a church. And nearly 300 people showed up, which is equal to 3,000 people in America. I mean, the church is small and persecuted and very, very much underground in Vietnam. Then the Sunday morning, I went to another church, which was the one that hosted me and arranged the other event before. And about 50 or 60 people, again in an upper room. When I say upper room, I mean a never-ending staircase. And then we ended up, and the amazing thing, Pastor Barry, is when I was done teaching and we were done praying and everything, everybody moved all the chairs and sat on the floor in circles and ate lunch. That was
koinonia.
Yeah. It's you don't see those things anymore.
Yeah.
I guess I absorbed so much there that I also absorbed sort of a bug there, because
Yeah,
upon
you brought
my
something with you.
exactly, and upon my arrival in the Philippines and I met you the following morning, my stomach turned into a wash machine.
Yeah.
And I suffered. And that was the day we had to travel 2.5 hours to a church, teach there, and 2.5 hours back. We arrived back after midnight.
Right.
So you can imagine long traveling with stomach bug. It's not a great thing.
No.
But and I was so sick while you taught there first in Tarlac. Wonderful, wonderful church, First Baptist Church of Tarlac. Remember the bishop there, Bishop Frank hosted us, and I remember he promised us online when we had Zoom meetings before, Brother Amir, we're going to have 3,000 people there for you for that event. And I was thinking to myself, who comes in the middle of the week to a church service that is normally never happening?
Yeah.
how can he ever have 3,000 people there? And it's in a province in the middle of the island of Luzon. I thought, it's nice talk, but when
You
we
just
walked,
never know.
yeah. So we walked in.
But there weren't 3,000 people.
Oh, there were more.
Exactly.
That's the thing. So when we walked into the church, we saw about, I don't know, 50 or 60 sitting. And there's
in this massive sanctuary.
Huge
sanctuary. Just unbelievable.
And I looked at you and I thought to myself, it's okay. I'm still happy we came.
Totally.
I'm blessed to have come, but it's funny how, I thought,
you just never know,
By the time you got up to teach after worship, it was packed.
It was.
And when I say packed, I mean, everybody, the problem is we couldn't see. Everybody registered in the foyer. That's why we didn't see them coming in.
Right.
And they started flowing.
And then
like
the floodgates opened.
And the registration tables reported at the end of the service there were more than 3,000 people. And I could see that there were more. And you saw photos that we posted. No, we don't care if it's 300 or 3,000, but we are actually amazed that 3,000 people made it
on a Wednesday
night
in the middle of a work week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
I think, excuse me, but one of the amazing things at this particular event was the number of young people.
Yeah.
It was packed with teenagers and early 20s.
I was quite amazed at how many young people showed up and how many people raised their hands when you offer them.
Well, it was, I just really felt the prompting of the Holy Spirit to give a very specific and detailed invitation and make sure they knew and understood what it was we were asking of them. And it wasn't just, here, let me see if I can get your hand in the air. And I have to say, and I've been doing this for a little bit, and it shocked me. And in this room, instantly, 500 people stood up, just instantly. And then another wave stood up. And it was stunning to see that many people respond so quickly and to know that the room was filled with young people. It was just,
while you were
fabulous thing.
While you were teaching, my illness I get even stronger. I was so close to
and a doctor taking care of you.
I was so close to passing out that a doctor came and took my vital signs. And I'm looking, because I'm on a floor above watching the whole service from a glass window, and I'm saying to myself, Lord, how in the world will I be able to step up on the stage after you and teach? And the doctor left, and I girded my loins.
And they gave you some pills too.
They gave me
some stuff to calm your stomach.
And then I got on the stage, and I
bam,
boom. And then at the end, I felt like, wow, where is that sickness?
Yeah.
Now, on the way back 2.5 hours drive, I felt I had acid reflux, which is normally something that happens to me when I am sick. But then I got to the hotel, past midnight. I slept like a rock, and I sweated everything out.
Yeah.
I woke up in the morning sweating like crazy, knowing that that's it. It's gone. And we had a full day to prepare for our first ever Revealing Revelation conference, which now I'll let you talk about, which is I'm speechless.
It is a daunting task to attempt to teach the book of Revelation just week by week and chapter by chapter, but to take the whole book and teach it in an evening and a full day is beyond
evening.
That. Friday evening we had 2 sessions. Saturday we had 5, and we taught the whole book
and Q&A at the end.
And a Q&A at the end. And I think the takeaway for us individually as Bible teachers was I came away not feeling like, oh gosh, I wish we'd had time to say this or say that. But we taught the book of Revelation. We taught the whole book. Of course, there's nuances and details that maybe we couldn't get to.
We covered all the chapters.
We covered every chapter, and I feel like we really covered it well. And there was a tremendous response. And, it's a complicated book. And we had the middle sessions, I think we were having a little fun with the fact they're just awful. The subject matter just was brutal on what's happening on the earth, and tried to keep the congregation engaged. And don't get too deep in this because we're not going to be here.
Exactly.
And so when you hear this, the point of, I believe the whole reason the Holy Spirit wanted to give such a detailed description of what's going to go on in the tribulation is that so it would break our hearts for the lost. That we would not want anybody to go through this.
And that's what happened. Some
yeah.
people came Sunday morning to church service because that church later on hosted me for 3 services on Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them told me we had a heavy heart that night for people that we know.
That's what it's all about.
So we had it. It was a great success. To be honest with you, I have to be honest. It was not easy for me, not the teaching before. Yeah. When I got in the van that morning of Saturday, day of the full day, I was so not at peace because I knew that the mountain is ahead of me.
We're huge.
It was so huge. And then by the time we got to the last message, I actually blessed the traditional Jewish blessing.
Yes.
Blessed are you, Father, the King of the universe, that sustained us and gave us life and brought us to this very day. This is like, I can't believe we did it.
Yeah.
And eventually the Q&A went fantastic. Everything went well. We could have not literally asked for anything better than what we had. Great church, great hosts, great organization, great volunteers, great media team, great pastoral care, and literally no schmaltz. No. I mean, boom, 3 songs, and we taught the whole book.
Yep.
And not that songs are schmaltz. I mean, but I'm saying we didn't do other things like taking 50 times offerings.
There was no marketing.
Nothing. It was just
teach the word.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now we have a different mountain coming up shortly. Okay. Today and tomorrow we're teaching in Cebu.
This one's steeper.
Yeah.
The one this weekend.
Today and tomorrow we're teaching in Cebu, which is a big island.
Yeah.
But Saturday we will be teaching in another big island, in the southernmost island, which is Mindanao. And we're going to do the entire book of Revelation in one day, not in a day and a half, in one day. So we crammed the 7 messages into 5 to fit one day, which is another task that I don't know how. But I am a bit more confident now than because I know we've done it, before. And so,
well, we did. Not only did we do the Friday, Saturday thing, but we were both teaching at churches on Sunday.
Sunday was a very long day for me.
And this guy has kind of busted my chops because I was speaking at a different church, and they had 1 service. And here he's doing 2 services and an evening service.
Yeah. So 3 altogether.
So he's doing 3 altogether. And I'm, going off to this church just to teach 1 Sunday morning service at 9. And then they dropped a surprise on me. The service, now get this, the service started at 9. And the pastor said, "You have until noon." Well, I said, what do you mean noon? What else is going to go on? He said, well, we'll have about an hour of worship, some announcements, and then you. And
Barry doesn't know that I talked to the pastor, and I said, if I'm speaking 3 times, he better do 4.
Yeah, so I got 2 services in 1 message, and it was a powerful day. And I saw people receive Christ that day too. So it was a good interesting surprise. I brought a 1-hour message. And was told I had 2 hours to speak. So
beautiful. Anyway, we're looking forward for tonight and tomorrow here in Cebu, and we're looking forward to finish strong in the Philippines in Davao.
Yeah,
and then we're heading back to your backyard.
Home. Yeah.
I'm flying all the way to the U.S. We have the Proximity Conference, which we want to urge you to sign up for.
You don't want to miss it.
You do not want to miss it. It's going to be Pastor Barry, Pastor Michael, myself, and even Jan Markel.
Yes.
An unforgettable event at Calvary Chapel East Anaheim. And then I will do the morning services at Calvary Chapel East Anaheim on Sunday. 2 different messages, 2 different services. I'm not going to do the same message. And then Sunday evening, we will have a nice sit down at Calvary Tustin to talk about current events and Bible prophecy at your brand new sanctuary.
Yes.
Looking
forward
sanctuary. So we're looking forward. Look, guys, thank you for following up on this thing. We need a lot of prayers. Traveling is not easy. you have lots of things to deal with.
Well, it was interesting in the airport. We were talking a little on our way to the Philippines airport, to the Manila airport. And because last year we had a bit of an adventure, postponed flight a couple of times, and then we finally wound up getting to, we weren't sure if we were going to make it to Davao. The conference was the next day.
Yeah.
We were traveling on Friday. And yesterday it was kind of interesting where we're in the airport and kind of talking about, how the organized chaos and everything. And sometimes it's just chaos. The airport it's packed and underseated and all this stuff that just people traveling. So we got in line finally after our brief time of kind of just hanging out.
In line to the wrong line.
And we're standing in line. They never announced anything. Our boarding pass said, go to this gate. We're standing there. They're not boarding the plane. There's nothing happening. So one of our team members went and said, hey, what's going on? He said, oh, well, this isn't your gate. So we had to scramble down to another gate and get on the plane. It just, it is.
But that's actually the fun of traveling in foreign countries, because
true. You never know.
You just never know. And you depend on the Lord, and eventually we make it, and eventually things happen.
Yeah.
Anything in between we'll forget. But the actual events we will never forget.
No.
And so it's great. Look, it's good. God is very good to us. We're looking forward for the coming weekend, of course, this weekend, but also to the next weekend in proximity.
Yeah, if you'd like to register, go to cctustin.org, and it'll take you to, it's called Eventbrite, and they do all the booking and everything and registration. And, there's a registration fee, but part of that is because we provide lunch. And that keeps everybody on the property, keeps the day moving forward quicker.
Yes.
But anyway, you go to cctustin.org and click on the register button, and it'll get you there.
2 more things I want to say. One, I just posted breaking news about Putin's next move. You may want to watch it. You may want to follow also me on Telegram to get nonstop news around the clock. But also, Barry has a brand new Facebook page, since he has been shadow banned by Facebook in his old one.
Crazy.
So make sure to follow his new page. And
it's actually Pastor Barry. We just had to come up with a different name.
Yeah. Feel free to unfollow the other one.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway,
that's right.
It's being...
So it's brand new. It just got, and I get, as Amir does, notifications from people. Hey, somebody just sent me a friend request. And if you get that, that's not me. That's not Amir. But this page it's just got a few thousand people following so far because we just did this. But there's a Barry Stagner public figure page, got a couple 100,000 followers. And if you can just switch over and go to the Pastor Barry Stagner page, it is legitimate. And that's where we're posting everything. And by the way, this Thursday night on the lineup, the U.S. time, 7 p.m. Pacific, this guy's going to be on with me. So we'll be talking about current events Thursday evening, U.S. time, 7 p.m. And so I hope you join us for that too.
It'll be great to see you there. And again, we are not asking for money on direct messages on Instagram or Facebook. So
never.
If you're following someone that carries our photo and name, who's asking for money from you for some sort of orphanage or I don't know what, or giving you cryptocurrency advices, this is not us. You're following the wrong person. Unfollow and report. This is fraud.
Yes,
they are fraud. They are obviously con artists. Most of them come from Nigeria, Africa, but unfortunately, there's some great believers there, and I do not want to lump them with the scammers that are coming from there.
Yeah.
But there's some schools of scammers there that really. Anyway, look, I'm working hard with the social media platforms to try and verify me, so I will finally be able to tell you, unless you see this blue check mark next to my name, this is not me. But it's funny nowadays you have to
verify who you are.
Fight to verify who you are.
While
all these scammers are just doing whatever they want. So let's pray that it will work eventually.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for praying for us. Thank you for supporting our ministries that are allowing us to do this,
Yes.
to see thousands of people getting saved and rededicating their lives to the Lord. And, these countries where we travel either don't get Bible prophecy taught or get it in such a twisted way that the churches here are so hungry and thirsty for
Yes.
this type of teaching. So we're thankful that we're able to do it time-wise, and thankfully, thanks to you, the resources are there to allow us not to even be a burden on the local churches here.
Yeah.
We just show up, teach, and go. And they don't have to, shoulder any expenses, and that's it. It's a great freedom for them and for us. I mean, that issue is not even on the table.
Yeah.
Great. That was our update. And like, subscribe, and share. The share button was born so you can be evangelists without even to leave your house. Share.
That's right.
It's a share button. I realize most of the messages are getting low views, not because somebody is shadow banning. So people just don't share.
Yeah.
And please share. That's one click. People will be blessed, might even get saved, and it doesn't even cost you a dime.
That's right.
The button is there. Use it.
Yep. Thanks for praying for us, and please keep them coming. I got a big weekend ahead of us, and then headed home.
Yeah.
And I got another big weekend after that. So love and appreciate you all, and we'll see you soon. So catch the lineup tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Pacific time, and we'll see you there. God bless.